Hello, Penny here. Today on my garden podcast. All right, let's have a look at this hole. Let's offer up the scaly male fern to my hole. Joey, what are you up to? What are you planting? A bone? I'm not paying 30 quid for a fern. They're all over the place, aren't they? They're in the roadside. You just go and dig one up at midnight with a balaclava on. You didn't come here for gardening, did you? But we are going to do some. It would appear everyone is digging a hole. Hunky Husband's dug me a hole, and Joey is round the back of the fern digging a hole. I don't know what he's found, but he's very interested. Anyway, we're here at number 2 Acer Avenue. Not Acacia Avenue, Acer Avenue. Got 2 beautiful Acer trees on the, if you're looking at the house on the left-hand side. One of them is dark aubergine colour, like a claret colour. And the other one in front of it is lime green. I may have mentioned them before because the contrast between the 2 colours is quite stark and quite exciting. Like a chocolate and lime and chocolate boiled sweet. Remember those? Boiled sweets. So anyway, it's nice to be around this area now because I have got rid of a really big shrub which was really dominant, and it was a nice thing, but it was just a bit boring, and it really sort of dwelt heavily on the ground. And I think an Acer deserves to have a bit of space around it so it can do its floppy leaf branchy thing that it's meant to do and look really sort of pretty in the wind and the gentle breeze. So I got rid of that because I needed to free up the space, and I wanted to create a kind of Dingley Dell underneath it. Now I'm really lucky in that I've got bluebells that come up underneath, and then other bits of green things which I haven't really got to know because I never put them there and they just sort of arrived, and they look really pretty in the early spring. And then about now, so we're at the end of May now, the ferns come out, and there's only 2, but they're whoppers. And so I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have another couple of ferns under there to give it a real sort of, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's a very sort of Jurassic-y, deep Dingley Dell sort of woodland thing. I don't know why I say Jurassic. I think it's because I've got some distant knowledge in my brain about ferns being incredibly old, dinosaur-y. I don't know. You didn't come here for gardening, did you? But we are going to do some, and we're going to fill the hole with this lovely fern. Now I've got 2 ferns. They're both scaly male ferns. I don't know what that means, but they couldn't be more different. One is looking fantastic in the prime of its life, juicy, good spread on its leaves, and the other one, well, it was 50% off in the garden centre. It looks like dead rocket. That's a lot of dead. It's quite an established fern, and it was going to be something like £30, and I thought, I'm not paying 30 quid for a fern. They're all over the place, aren't they? They're in the roadside. You can just go and dig one up at midnight with a balaclava on. So I paid £15 for it, and I'm going to put it in the ground, and I'm going to have my fingers crossed that the scaly male fern is happy in the Dingley Dell area. And then around that, I'm going to be, not today, but my major plan is to grass seed up to it, because this is a bit of a dead bed now. So I don't want it to just be soil. And the reason for that is I'm not going to plant into it because it's a bit crappy. The soil's a bit old and has had so much in it, and it's not pleasing. But also the dog walks through it. It just runs riot through the bed on any soil, on any available soil. Joey will be there, and then of course the consequence of that is that he comes into the house and brings in his muddy and soily little paws. And for someone like me, that's annoying because I've got like a kind of small particle, kind of an eye for small particles. So most people could breeze through their lives just not noticing things like grains of sand or crumbs, whereas I'm like a magnet for those things, and I just need to not have those in my life. Okay, TMI, probably. All right, let's have a look at this hole. Let's offer up the scaly male fern to my hole. It's Do you know what? It feels like it's been in the pot too long. It's got a bunch of slugs on the bottom, which I'm flicking off. Ugh. Don't need those, do we? And it feels like such an old fern that's been in this pot for too long. It's really spongy when you press it, and I don't know how it's going to go in, but I'm going to put some compost in just to give it a bit of a head start. Now I'm in need of a kneeling mat. I'll tell you for why. I'm about to kneel on really crappy soil, and I've got shorts on. What am I after? Oh yes, compost. And a trowel, trusty trowel. Okay, I'm just going to have to get dirty knees. I'm looking forward to having a bath later, which will be lovely. And do you know what I'm really not looking forward to about the bath is, this is probably TMI as well. I'm actually doing this kind of weird restriction diet at the moment, which is low histamine, because it's suspected that I'm histamine intolerant, which means I sneeze after I've eaten normally, and wheeze. So yeah, wheezy chest, sneezy, palpitations, not rashy particularly, some people are. Let's get that compost in. But it does tangle with your hormones, everyone, if you wanted to know that. And that's where I came across this idea of a low histamine situation. Right, scaly male, in you go. Oh yes, a bit low. Could afford a bit more compost in there. Oh, let's tip the whole bucket in, why not? There we go. Trusty orange bucket. Got about 5 of them now knocking about. Okay, that's good. Anyway, so the thing about the low histamine thing is that it's in like vinegars and marinated stuff, fermented stuff and things like that. Cheeses, anything old, anything tinned or old, and booze. And normally on a Sunday, after a day of gardening, one of my favourite things is to lie in a hot bath, soaking the mud off my knees, drinking a glass of red wine. It's a simple pleasure, which is no longer available to me, or at least for the next few days anyway, while I continue this restriction diet, and then I reintroduce certain elements. And I'm thinking the first thing I'm going to reintroduce is red wine to see if it has an effect. I'm not hopeful. I've got a feeling it might have to be a future without booze. Da da da. Hey, there we go. That's where we're at. What, Joey, what are you up to? What are you planting? A bone? You're going to see if it grows? Or are you just sniffing around for good times? Sniffing around for good times. I tell you who's sniffing around for good times at the moment. It's my hairdresser. Now, she is a beautiful woman. She's absolutely gorgeous. But she's not been lucky in love over the last few years. Which is a shame, because she's a good catch. She's a good catch. Anyway, she started dating this guy. I say dating, she's been on 2 dates with him. And she said, I'm not that into him. I went, right, okay, well, knock it on the head then. And she said, well, I don't know. She's a bit ambivalent. She went, I think there are a couple of red flags. I went, right, well, if you've got a red flag already, it's probably not worth testing out whether you're right that it's a red flag or not, is it? Why don't you just not bother? Stick a box set on and have a nice time on your own at home, rather than going out and trying to work out whether red flags are okay or not. Anyway, apparently he's like FaceTiming her every night, which I think just means somebody's checking if you're not with somebody else. And then he keeps telling her about other friends who are female who really like him, which is just a massive insecurity sign, isn't it? It's like, you're on your second date, you don't want to be hearing about other people's. Anyway, I asked her, I said, are you the kind of person who perseveres with a film or a book, even though 10 minutes in, you pretty much know it's a bit crap? You know? Or you get to the end and think, that was all a bit crap, I shouldn't have wasted my time. She went, yeah, I really do. I went, right, okay. I used to be like that. I used to really open a book, and if it was boring, I'd think, oh, I better read it because it'll make me a better person. Or the author's gone for made a lot of effort in writing this, and I've started it now, so it might get better. And that's the key bit. I've started it now, and it might get better. And I said, you've got to think about that in terms of relationships. If you start something and you think, oh, it's a bit crap, why on earth would you hang around to see if it gets a bit better? Because it's not going to. Anyway, and with that, she cut my hair, and it was a very good job, actually. I was a bit worried I'd overstepped with my motherly advice. Right, okay, I think the fern is in, the scaly male fern is in, and I'm going to give it a watering. Not that ferns really enjoy too much water. And I'm just going to give it a comb. I'm combing it with my fingers, because in the terrible conditions it's been kept in, I feel like it's a rescue animal. It's been kept in terrible conditions. It's all pot bound. It hasn't had room to roam, and all of its ferny bits are all tangled, so it can't enjoy its space now. Oh, look at that. It's like I'm setting it free in the wild. Amazing. This is encouraging. In the kind of combing and untangling, what I found around the bottom is those really fun bits of the fern when they're just beginning to unfurl. There's a little tender one there that's coming out to play, and it's going to be spreading its wings anytime soon, which is what I hope for my hairdresser, actually. It's a hard job though, isn't it? Dating and all that nonsense. You don't need to have it made worse by somebody bringing you a bunch of red flags. You want red flowers, not red flags. Right then, that's it, I think, for the gardening today. I'm going to try and enjoy my bath, distract myself with maybe a new book, and I'll see you soon.